We all set?
All set, yep.
Taping? Okay. So, there we go. So, what is Mars Direct? Are you guys familiar with Mars Direct? Obviously you are. Okay. A lot of work, I'll just briefly, like I said, my claim to fame is that they put so much work into two of these, one flashlight, but not a lot of work into the Earth return vehicle, and so they had a competition with Jumbotron's at the Mars Society to get the best design for that vehicle that they could. And 20 teams entered, 12 made it to the midterm report, and 5 finished. It's the most arduous set of requirements to try and put all together, spreadsheets and so forth. And when I initially signed up for it, I gave it 2 weeks of thought as to whether or not a business analyst, or at the time just a tech writer, should be doing this just based on the fact that I loved running spaceships when I was a kid. And after 2 weeks of deliberation, I decided my Calvin House would never forgive me if I didn't try it. And of the 5 teams that finished, it was a PhD with a small aerospace company in Colorado, a guy in England, Penn State University, and Pepperdine University. And out of those 5, Penn State won the university side, and I won the independent side, and I went playing against theirs, I won other things. My first MDRS experience was part of my prize for winning the whole. That's a little bit of history of the Mars Society and how all this came about. Flashlight was built between 2000 and 2001, MDRS in 2002. So we're at the, how many years now? And between 2005 and 2008, it looked like NASA was going to go in that direction. As that started fading out, commercial space in 2011, 2012 started kicking in with Red Dragon. Falcon Heavy was announced. And this is where I think we're really going to go is, I was telling, I'm sorry, I'm terrible.
Nick.
I was telling Nick before you guys got here that I put maybe a 5–10% chance at Mars 1 actually getting there. But I think what Mars 1 is doing is it's putting a stake in the ground. And that has probably helped with Inspire Mars, which probably has a 70% chance of doing a 2-person flyby. What Inspire Mars has done is there's a lot of studies out there of, well, what's it like to live in a box for 500 days, or what's it like to do this, or how do we make this tool? But nobody's really put the whole package together because, let's be honest, not that many people want to drink recycled urine for 2 weeks or whatever it's going to take. So what Inspiration Mars has done is it's forced them to do the most basic problems with the most basic technology all the way to the end with a deadline. Because if they don't meet the deadline, there's not another opportunity for another 15, 16 years. So by forcing somebody to actually start writing the novel and publish it, as opposed to writing the first 3 or 4 chapters, which was done a lot of in aerospace, that is a big enabler for space settlement and for travel, because if you can build those systems and if you can demonstrate those systems, then what's to prevent you from going to the surface or whatever. But if the whole thing fits into something that can be launched by a good to go. So we've had this shift from proving it can be done to looking like we were going to get it done via the government to what started out as discussions of, it seemed like crazy talk of, well, can we just do it without NASA? And then it went from crazy talk to, because we were so frustrated with trying to get NASA to work. And now it's become standard operating procedure because there's now 3 Mars programs that are not NASA. But the reason I bring this up is I think that when SpaceX really gets going on this and announce whatever they're going to announce, which they've been this close to announcing for quite a while, it's probably going to be enough of a game changer that it will, Mars 1 will get subsumed into something larger. These are the locations of the 3 bases. This is actually a shed that they use. They just take spacesuits out and they do simulated stuff out there. But it is a valid part of the matrix. This is all of Utah, this is MDRS, and it's a Google Earth. now a greenhouse is not a green hab. It no longer smells like a disused gas station washroom with all the gray water being pumped through it. It's actually a greenhouse. It doesn't have anything to do with the filtration system. So it's actually nice. That was the observatory back when it was up on the ridge, like you guys remember. This is it out on the plane, and they've got kind of a light trail going out there. Right now, actually, there's a construction crew out there. They're building a tunnel all over there.
Oh, cool. No, we're using rocks.
Rocks and wood. Solar dog lights out there. And then this is my astronomer.
What made them move it from the ridge?
The ridge was falling apart. It's also very dangerous.
Yeah.
As I can attest to flying out there on a moonless night.
It seemed like a good location.
Oh, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's also trying to get around the back of it in complete darkness.
You had to go up our ridge and over. Yeah.
So this is what EVAs were like back in my day. As the old grizzled moors got a little bit nicer spacesuits, but much cruder GPS systems. And this was actually part of our Times of London coverage. This is where things are not going to work because we don't have work time.
Do you have work time? It doesn't seem like Connecticut.
Actually, can you give me the iPad?
Oh, yes.
It's more small group. Just the iPad. These are just real short video clips that one of my crewmates took. This will give you an idea of what the old systems looked like back in the guy who's shooting this is a guy from Copenhagen, Denmark. This guy. If he looks a little familiar, he's the guy who's trying to build basically what looks like a big ball rocket to send somebody to the edge of space and launch it from there. It's supposed to be towed out like a submarine that looks like a standard World War II submarine except on a much smaller scale that somebody built in the garage. And so he's got his own column environment. Him and Andy, I know from, he's actually, Andy's one of the few that actually comes all the way. Video clips he kept shooting for Dutch television when he was in the group. I love how the video stops there because you're just waiting for the rock to like launch a face on it. Alien references this was NASA with their multi-million-dollar rover, and then us with our home-built 3D light systems to analyze rocks, and then we needed a centrifuge and we needed
Red lines think a
You
lot.
have no idea
Yeah.
how uncanny that is. You'll see why.
Yeah.
So we came in and our Times of London reporter arrives, and he looks at that and he kind of got this look, and then our Belgian, our medical officer was a veterinarian from lived in Yorkshire. So between being born in Belgium and raised or living in Yorkshire, the accent was pretty thick. And it took me about, I'm really good with accents, but it took me about an hour on first night to actually understand what she was saying. But she pointed out this thing, she goes, "Don't make fun of our centrifuge, it's the nicest centrifuge on Mars."
The astronomer from the crew who was shifting out before us was New Zealander and Romanian.
Yeah.
It's a very cool accent.
Yeah.
I'm well familiar with Romanian accents. So in 2013, of course, we've got much nicer systems. These are panoramas off my iPhone. This is a little attachment from my iPhone that I can do microscopic imaging. So, and this is, as I like to say, the mission is simulating beauty, nature, and adventure. fall down and we'll go. Or we're building a worry. Various musicians that you're there before. This is my initial group, Christian Von Gerst, and Total myself, my commander Celeste back here, our mission patch with our 3 flags there. And this is how things were when we got there and how things were when we left. But the pipes were frozen because the previous group were Canadians and they weren't going to turn the heat on for anything. They left the place open for a couple of weeks and we got there and we turned on the water pressure and suddenly water was spurting out of the walls. So we're like, so we like patched it with garden hose and put pressure on the system and again, water spurted out of the repair. So it was like, okay, we've only got gravity feed and we have no hot water. So if you wanted to take a bath, you have to boil water in a kettle, dump it into cold water to get the temperature about normal, carry it down those stairs. And those stairs used to be single, love that they were alternating tread back then, which was actually easier. I have no idea why they went to that tread. Carry that down and then do your sponge bath. And that thing is incredibly treacherous when you first get there, and after a while you're just going up and down the follow. But I had a very funny thing happen as we were leaving. I had not worn my boots into the hab because you're supposed to leave them in the air, pretty close to the airline. And back then they provided boots. They were paratrooper boots inside. So I hadn't worn my boots in 2 weeks. Put my boots on and we're calling stuff in and out, waiting for the next crew and everything. And I caught the tread of the boot on that step as I was carrying something. And I skied all the way down the stairs and landed on my feet. Mm-hmm. And it was just having to fall just the right angle that I was completely uninjured, that I made the most nasty racket of thud, 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 you know, and it was like, and I just sort of stood there like, this is what cats feel like, and I just said, I'm okay, you know. But everybody in the hab from both my crew and the next crew was, you know, expecting me to have a compound fracture or something. And so, of course, the woman who was running she was the XO for the next group, so 4 different times since then. So be careful on those steps. And these were various studies. I'll just go over these. So I took Corvée, and this was our engineering day, which was a nice way to say, fix all the stuff that's broken. Andy putting everything on the whiteboard and figuring out what's broken and how to fix it. And then we have the issue of the previous crew had reported that there was a mouse making noise up in the mezzanine. And we finally spotted said mouse. It was not a mouse, it was a pack rat. So we were thinking, so I brought the squirrel hand puppet out, just as a joke, you know, just like, they actually wrote on the whiteboard, you know, welcome to my domain, you know, M3, and then a little paw print. So I'll show you a video clip of the 1-minute parody video. And the first sound you'll hear is the sound of that we would hear in the loft every night. We came back from meeting and said, put your suit on back. You know, so we shot up this back. She had not seen Alien, so I had to explain all this stuff to her.
How could you not have seen it?
I'm the commander of the MDRS mission. Luckily, the ventilation system did kick on and did that. Adderall, I hope, named decompression. This is. And she's like, I got my hand in the shot, and it's like, that's perfect. You look cheesy as hell. There's like a director's cut. I'm there in my jacket, and I'm like, when I open the airlock, chuck the squirrel. She's like, chuck it on the ground. Chuck it on the ground. So, there's me with the chest burster remote, and then me up in the mezzanine clearing. And the next crew comes along with Mama Cat. And I said, well, it's not a mouse, it's a pack rat. No, Mama Cat can handle anything. Turned out somebody was allergic to Mama Cats. So Mama Cats went through the irritation in the airlock area. So after that came Pixel. Pixel was the apparently Pixel was living at the hotel in Hanksville, and you could check out Pixel, and she could come be your Mars cat for 2 weeks. But if somebody on the crew was allergic, we didn't want to do a cat. You didn't have to do a Pixel. And I love this picture. Somebody in sim working on a looks like a ground radar sort of humble thing, looking at the circuit board, holding a circuit board in her glove in one hand and putting the cat in the other. And then it was shortly after that that we had this the Mars squirrel or the Mars mouse or whatever picture of that. That's the video. One thing that went very successful was this was right around the time they discovered the blueberries on Mars. We were there around the time Spirit and Opportunity were doing stuff. And we actually had a look with the telescope when it was working on Saturn, and we saw Titan the day before Huygens. So it was the last day Titan had not been touched by anything of human hands. We had to look at it through the telescope. So this is a rock from MDRS, and this is I had seen a geological survey that was done by Melissa Battler, and she had shown all the strata of everything out there. She did this extensive work, beautiful work. She's a PhD. And so I worked out based on her stuff and based on what we've done. It's like, okay, if we go to this spot, we're going to find things. So Christian and I took off on the ATVs, went to that spot, sure enough. Of course, when I went back this time, I went to the hole immediately behind the house. So I could have just gone to the restroom. We don't really have this other thing about the diatoms. I'll just skim over that. Desert roses. The commander had this kind of rounded rock, kind of looked like a golden gourd. And she said, this is desert rose. Our Japanese geologist on my crew, 16 or so, was all really excited to find one of these things. So Kirsten got the idea, I'm going to go find a desert rose. We went to one place, we couldn't find it, we went to another place, we couldn't find it. First day when we were in our pre-EVA thing where we're just trying to get these three ideas, we found a rock like this. And I said, is this a desert rose? She goes, no, it's like this other one. We went all over it. We took this long hell walk all the way across. And you can see how much mud is built up on the roof. So that was the time I had a break, simply because I was getting exhaustion and now off. And finally, we did one last look for the things. I turned to Christian and I said, you heard the radios beep. I said, Christian, burr? Yes. I know where we can find the desert rose in Burr. Where's that? eBay. So we get back. Sure enough, he goes on eBay, and sure enough, that rock that we found on day one was a desert rose. And so we went back to where they were. The Belgian woman was like, okay, you must come back with at least 8 desert roses because we went through this crap looking for these things. Although we did find really cool fossils.
Are you allowed to take them out of the sign? The rocks?
Anything that is not a vertebrate fossil. So you cannot retrieve a dinosaur.
But mineral specimens,
Minerals.
mineralogical specimens are okay.
Minerals and non-vertebrate fossils. So if I found like a fossil of a fern, butterfly, something like that.
Gotcha.
So like petrified wood,
Lots of petrified wood. One of my
shellfish.
crew members found a petrified wood piece this big, and she was like sawing it up and shipping it to herself because she's a geologist, so she was excited. She's like, I don't know if I ever find this thing.
Was she planning to reassemble it?
You could actually put it back together. Yeah. It was in a reasonable form. And like I said, it was like 3 feet long. So this is our report from Times of London and Dr. Furman. So this is T2 section of the Times of London with me in the background, all these shots. This is where they moved the observatory, this is where they moved the generator. When I was there the first time, you had a standard generator with a 6-hour fuel supply, which meant somebody had to go out every 6 hours with a flashlight, helmet, and or had a flashlight and poured diesel fuel into this thing. And then to this system, of course.
Was that all done under SIM as well?
SIM is a relative term. If you go
Do
to the
you see
engineering
that rock?
rock,
You see that rock road? That's an inflated tunnel.
yeah. So that's what we mean by SIM. We had a little mix-up with the geology thing where we needed a geologist, so they asked her to come back from the previous crew, and then she said, okay, I'll do it, and then she disappeared for 4 weeks. But we need a geologist, so the guy in Europe who was coordinating European side of this, it's this guy. He didn't even know MDRS existed a month earlier. So he signs up, and then she comes back and is like, yeah, I'm all excited. He's like, where were you for 4 weeks? So I ended up saying, well, I'm not going to send you home because you went camping. So this was my crew. This time, first time Christian designed a mission patch. He was an ESA engineer, so I designed this one. I put Euro NORSA thing with this Euro news, the other half. Our names in alphabetical order, 7 stars for, this is a silhouette of the EU flag, as the European group was paying for it. So Euro was behind the Euro flag, and there's 7 stars that represent the 7 crew members, because that's standard NASA thing. If you see the number of stars you see in the shuttle mission patch is how many crew members there are. And Euro is blue, Moon is gray, Mars is red, MDRS is down. This is their all mission flags. Moon is from the moon, Euro is from the moon. There's a lot of layers of stuff in there. And, no photos. Andre is my XO, and she was from France. Tristan is my health and safety officer, who's an ER physician and our president in Calgary. Aussie was my crew engineer and general human rock, because she just did not never met an order she liked, and just sort of went off on her own and this kind of like. Paolo recently actually went to Chicago WorldCon, and I gave this talk, and the original version of this talk. And she's like, that's intriguing. I've wintered in Antarctica. I would like to sign up for something like that. So she ended up on a crew earlier in the season, and I said, would you like to come back? She's like, sure. So she ended up being our record. And then Dennis was the geologist who recently heard of the place. Awesome. And then April was my other geologist from San Diego, and then Max the robot. And then this was teaching everybody how to put on a spacesuit, how to drive on TV. And I took an extra day to have the better of the 2 geologists teach us one of the bases of geology. Because that's really hard to get. You can't really yell more than 60 suits. That is a radio. So consequently, I thought, well, if we're going to have a classroom type arrangement, we might as well just do it before we And so this was their first EDA. Everybody else had been in MDRS before, so we sent all the newbies out with one veteran member. It could have went better, but it worked. We got everything fixed. All the ATVs were in bad shape. Fortunately, Dennis was a auto mechanic in a previous life, so he was able to get it all running.
An axle fix.
We got the rover, the whole robot fixed. And Paula was very good electrical engineer. She was the spacesuits all working. These were the studies we were doing. So we had perfect weather the whole time. We were not anticipating perfect weather all the time. So we kept thinking a snowstorm was going to move in and box us in. So we tried to get through all the experiments. We wake up the next morning. Almost. So we said, okay, we just bought another 3 days until the next storm. Next storm would come along. Wake up the next morning, everything's fine. Okay, go to your B list, go to your C list. By the time we're done. And then just as we're driving the new crew in, it was a heavy snow. But they got all their stuff done. There's other fauna. We thought we were going to stop. We were hiking into this canyon, and we kept having to go back to this canyon. And we kept finding these footprints going to the waterfall. It might have been a mountain lion, it might have been a big wild dog, which is actually more dangerous than a mountain lion. Whatever it was, its tribe was about this big. So we were trying to take precautions of never traveling alone. And then this is me in my spacesuit talking to a guy from the Bureau of Land Management who came out to talk to me. And I've got my holstered hammer drill on one side, and he's got his holster Glock on the other side. We're just having this conversation like it's a day at the office. I think it's the most bizarre. Life with Max. Max was a very temperamental thing to this metaphoric rotation to get open. And when we were supposed to do several studies with Max, and we kept trying to lower our expectations and lower our expectations. And the big problem was the wife. So this is after a long struggle of trying to get we just wanted to go from here to here. We put the Wi-Fi router at the observatory to extend the range from the hub, so things that you could control from the laptop out to where it was going. And so here's our frustration video. She's waiting for the robot to show up.
That's what you wanted to do?
Max Nebergall and the EVA machine, because NorCal is Northern California Bar Society built it. The original version that was, we just called it Max Shite. Because we're just so based on this. This is a fault line that's very similar to one where Curiosity we're using some advanced logging maps, and actually that one's on here, and it's also on the series. But basically, it's got all the GPS coordinates, altitude, angle, everything. And you can just take a picture. And if I take a standard picture, I'll put the data up in the corner, and I can just do a screenshot. This was the drill that is on Curiosity rover. This is the drill that was made by the same people at JPL and is designed to work with a hammer drill. And we're using my hammer drill from Sears. And I bought that the week before, and I really want to buy a hammer drill just to take off there because it was about half the weight of my regular drill. And I thought if I'm hiking all that distance, half the weight's good. I looked at it, and the other thing that Paula and I had in common from when I went to World Cup was that we both actually are just old enough to like the show Space 1989. So this actually, when you take the head off, looks like the phaser from Space 1989. And I thought, given what that thing looks like, it really needs to go to Mars. Because it really does look like a phaser. So there it was in the poster. I was carrying a lot of gear. My official study was presented in Beijing yesterday by Lucy. Microscopic sampling. And I thought this was intriguing because this is a rock we found, and Paula found it, and she went to Dennis, the geologist. She was like, how did this form? With this crystalline structure, it's like, well, was it mineral, is it biological, what happened? And as we're having this conversation, we looked at the frost on the ground, where this mud pool was, and it was forming the exact same pattern in the mud by our feet at that, before our very eyes. We were watching the same process that made this rock. Same location. This rock was probably, could have been made 1,000 years ago. It could have been made in Jurassic era. So this was our handoff to the other crew. They liked our patch so much they copied it. That is, nobody saying that the geologist that did that study that Logan found it. That's Michelle Ballard. So Melissa Ballard. She was commander of the Great Hills crew, so the commander took Vander Gun off. And she was a Bulgarian geologist with the most deliciously sexy accent I have ever heard in my life. And these guys are variously from Poland and Germany and Denmark, I believe, and they got now a close friend who's Japanese. She's the Japanese psychologist who's doing journal entries and stuff. And she and I are doing a wide study for the so our crew was walking off into the sunset here. And I do a new Photoshop version of this project. So the crew after ours was, we had no crescent up. But the crew after ours had 4 crescent bands. So they ended up in time and so forth. They ended up, this photo essay just went over, just kind of spiral, to the point where Jay Leno in his monologue brought up this mission. So he said that guys out in the Utah desert learning how to live on Mars. And the difference between Utah and Mars is Mars has a lot of life. So that's 2 out of 130 missions. So we've got these are the other activities we're going on. This is the University Rover Challenge, where they go out and deliver rovers. They have a $16,000 budget. We go over that does things like flip switches and inflate stuff and drop off crew supplies and stuff. And then this was, they did a 4-month expedition out in the Canadian Arctic. And again, loss of valor. Major from Paul and a bunch of people. They went out, they were supposed to normally go for 4 weeks, they did 4 months. They spent 1 month on Mars time because they were 24-hour daylight. They're going to go back again next year and they want to do a full 365 days. And then the Mars Society conferences. And this is Zubrin with Buzz Aldrin. And this, I just happened to be scheduled to be in the same room as the plenary as that year. So I've got Peter Diamandis and Adam from Curiosity landed like 5 hours before they landed, and then me all of the same podiums. And then various books and so forth.
So how many people repeat multiple times then on the missions?
I don't know, actually, I think April and Paula's going to go back as commander this year. Proud progeny in terms of Mars things. But, I've always wanted to go to the Antarctic too, so she's got to meet her.
Who's the team that's doing the year-long thing?
Well, we haven't chosen people yet.
Oh, okay. It's just the mission. The next thing is there will be a year-long mission.
There will be a year-long mission as they aim to because the nice thing / bad thing about putting something in the Arctic is that if you abandon it for a few years and come back,
No
it's
big
generally
thing.
fine.
Yeah.
Unless the polar bears get to it, or the Inuit decide to use it as a hunting shack, which happens, they'll come in and they'll find a lot of garbage on the floor that's just
Interesting.
left out. So, because it would be unethical to lock it up over the winter because somebody might be out.
Dying.
Yeah.
And
it can
locked
be
up
black
in
to
one
death.
shelter.
Yeah. But that does create some perverse incentives.
Exactly.